Hi guys, welcome back to my channel. Today I wanted to share my son's 2-month update. So he's actually going to be 10 weeks on Tuesday. Today is June 22nd. And he went for his 2-month appointment on June 13th, so it's about a week ago now. And he also had a hip actually it was like a hip x-ray. Because he was breached, but I'll get into that later. So basically what's going on, he's doing great. He was a preemie for those of you who just started following my journey. So he was born at 37 weeks via C-section and he was breached. So the update from the pediatrician was he's 10 pounds 2 ounces. So he was born at 5 pounds 6 ounces. So he's almost pretty much doubled his weight, which is amazing for 2 months. And that puts him in the 9th percentile for weight. So he's a little guy, and then he's 21 inches long, and he's in the 1 percentile, the 1st percentile, I don't know how you say that. So he's still kind of like short, but at the same time, I mean, it doesn't really matter now. I guess babies grow how they grow, but I'm only 5'1", and my husband is like 5'7", 5'8". So we're both pretty short people, and I think that overall he's not going to be a tall person, but whatever. And then his head was 37 centimeters, so that puts him in the 5th percentile. So he's still on the lower side of everything, but before, like at his first week checkup and the first month checkup, he like barely was even on the charts. So he's making good progress. He also got his shots. So this was really, it was so sad. Anybody who's a mom or a parent or whatever and has to go and watch their child get shots and cry and stuff is really, really sad. So he got, let's see, what shots did he get? So he got the hepatitis B shot already. And then I think what he got the other at his 2-month appointment was the DTaP, and I believe that was the one that they take orally, and then the rotavirus and I don't know, PCV, I'm not really sure. So altogether he's had 4, and he got 3 of them at his 2-month checkup. And so basically like the reaction to that, I know that like some people might be curious because every baby is different. So I took some notes. Obviously, when he got the shots, he got 2 in his thighs, and then he took 1 orally. The oral one was totally fine. It was pretty sweet, they said, but he had no problem. He ate it or whatever. They put it in a little syringe and just like put it in his mouth, and it was totally fine. He didn't mind it at all. The shots that went in his thighs, he obviously started screaming, and it's so sad because he's laying there, you know, just like kicking around and happy and has no idea what's coming, and then all of a sudden they stick him and he started screaming. So all I did was just hugged and kissed him and just like held him really close and tried to like just calm him down, and then we fed him in the doctor's office right after that happened. And after that, he slept for like 3 hours straight. We had to take him to another appointment to get his hips x-rayed. I'll get into that in a minute. But he was just pretty drowsy and tired. And once again, when we got home, we fed him again because after both of those appointments, it had been about 3.5, maybe 4 hours later. So fed him again, he ate, and then about 20 minutes after that, he started screaming hysterically, and his legs, they were like swollen and like red and blotchy, and he was just like screaming his head off, losing his mind. I've never seen him, like he was just inconsolable, and it was so sad. I guess like finally all of the shots and the whatever they vaccinated him with caught up to him. Like at first, you know, it takes a little while to actually get into his system. And so we gave him some baby Tylenol. I forget exactly how much, but it was just like a couple of milliliters, or maybe it wasn't even that. Maybe it was like half. I can't remember, but our doctor gave us a sheet on, you know, what we could do for, what we could do if he was uncomfortable or crying or something after the shots. So we just gave him the baby Tylenol, and then he slept for like 3 hours in our arms. Like, we just didn't put him down because he needed the love and everything. So we just kept on like passing him back and forth and like cuddling him and kissing him and everything. And then after that 3-hour nap, he got up and he ate again, and then he seemed to be a little bit more like himself, like after he calmed down from crying and everything like that on the Tylenol. So at nighttime, so that was probably around like 5:30 or so, and then after he ate, we put him down for the night, and he slept a really, really long stretch, like without even eating. He usually had been going about 3.5 to 4 hours between feeds in the middle of the night, and this time he slept for like 5 hours straight. And then at 8 a.m. he woke up, and he was a little fussy and everything, so we took his temperature, and it was actually 100. And I know that like that's pretty high for babies, but our pediatrician said that it's normal for them to get fevers, and if they do, just give them some Tylenol and they should be fine. So we gave him the Tylenol again. So he only took 2 doses, one the first day, the day that he got the shots, and the second was the morning after. And then he slept pretty much another really long stretch after the Tylenol, and then he got up to eat, and finally, like, he was pretty drowsy during the day, but finally he felt like himself again and was like cooing and interactive. And so, you know, the first, after he got the shots, I think we went for the appointment was at 2 p.m. So like the whole rest of the day, he pretty much was drowsy and just uncomfortable and sleeping mostly. But, you know, the next day he was drowsy too, but the day after that he was back to his normal self. So I know all babies are different, and everybody, you know, has a different experience with the shots, but, you know, it's really sad just to watch your baby uncomfortable or upset or like feeling pain or whatever it was. But it was fine, and he's back to his normal self now. So that's the reaction that he had to the shots. He's totally great and a happy baby overall. But so after we went to the pediatrician, everything else she said was totally fine. The one thing that we mentioned to her is that he has a tendency to always look to the left. I don't know my left from right. To the left. And he sleeps with his head to the left, and every time, you know, we put him anywhere, like where he's laying down, or even if we're holding him in his arms, he always has a tendency to look to the left. So she told us that it's not, she like moved his head to the right, and she said that it's basically because they become accustomed to turning one way because their muscles are more relaxed on that side. So what you have to do is that she would stretch his neck to the right side. He was laying on his back, and she just like pushed his head to the right, and the goal was to get his chin to touch his shoulders. And she said that he actually didn't have that bad of a case. I think the name of it is called like torticollis or something, but she said that nothing needed to be done. Obviously, if he's sleeping on the same side of his head and always on that side, he might get a little bit of a soft indent in his head. So we want to prevent that so that his head is normal shape and proportionate the whole way around. So she said every time after you change him, just push his head to the right and try to stretch that muscle so that it becomes more relaxed and easier for him to turn on his own. So that's what we've been doing, and after about a week, he now turns to the right whenever he like hears you or something like that. So every time after I would change him, I would push his head to the right, and it's kind of uncomfortable for him. It doesn't hurt him or anything, but now he's getting so good at it that he like automatically goes to the right, and he'll stay looking over that way, which is really great. And we kind of like, whenever we prop him up in like the Mamaroo or something, we'll put a little burp cloth underneath the what is it, the left side, so that it kind of like pushes his head to the right, and then we turned all of the bouncers and the mamaroo and everything so that he's looking to the right wherever we're sitting. Don't go back with him until 4 months, but if we see, she told us if we see any changes, like if he's still not able to turn and, you know, you feel the spot like going deeper and deeper, we might have to get a helmet. But she said that she wasn't worried about that at all, and that if we keep just like doing the little exercise with him, he should be fine. So after that appointment, we had to go to Texas Children's Hospital to get an x-ray of his hips. So basically, because he was breech, and I think there's like a couple other factors. He was a C-section baby, he was breech, and he is the firstborn, and also that he's a male. They wanted to make sure that he didn't have hip dysplasia. So the first thing that we did, and I guess it was like about 6 weeks, when he was 6 weeks, or no, maybe it was 8, when he was 8 weeks, we took him to get an ultrasound of his hips, and it came back pretty much inconclusive, and it was just a general ultrasound. It wasn't a pediatric person that looked at the results, it was just a regular radiologist. So my doctor, they said that there might be mild dysplasia in his right hip. So my pediatrician got those results and told us that we should schedule an x-ray at Texas Children's Hospital so that a pediatric specialist could look at the results, and it's an x-ray rather than an ultrasound, to make sure that whatever they found the first time is consistent and what we need to do from there. So we took him over there. He got the x-ray. The doctor was really great. I liked him a lot. And he basically comes in and says that ultrasounds are pretty much bullshit, and they are a lot of times inconclusive. So he showed us what he saw from the x-ray, and basically he said that he does not have hip dysplasia. Both of his hips are symmetrical. He showed us like the measurements that they're supposed to be if it's a normal, just normal hips, and he was definitely in the normal range, and he was just like, you can come back again in, I think, like 6 weeks or so, and do another x-ray to see if anything has changed, because, you know, he's developing and he's growing and everything. And he said, but it's not super necessary, and if he was to have hip dysplasia, he would have to get this, like, I think it's like some sort of cast or something, or a brace that goes on his hips, and me and my husband were just praying that we didn't have to go through that. So anyways, we made the appointment for 6 weeks from now to do another x-ray just to double check that he's okay, because during this period there's a lot of growth, and we just wanted peace of mind. So he's good. Other than that, he's doing really well. He's social smiling, which is awesome. He definitely knows, you know, that I'm his mom and that Pete is his dad. We get these, when he wakes up in the morning and I talk to him and I'm like, hi, good morning, he gets the biggest smile on his face, and I usually bring him over onto the bed and just like play with him and everything, and he's just so freaking adorable. What else is going on? So he's still pretty small, and he's not sleeping through the night yet because he wakes up to eat. So it's been getting better. I was literally going through a very tough time due to the lack of sleep and just like being sleep deprived, because he would wake up 2 times a night, and then, you know, just feeding him during the morning. It's like I've never really gotten a full stretch of sleep. But what we've been doing now is, so we used to, like about a week or 2 ago, we would put him down to sleep at about 8 p.m. after his bottle, because he would get really tired. So we're like, okay, let's just put him down then. So he'd sleep till maybe midnight, and then he would wake up again and need to eat. And then from there, he would wake up around 4, and then from there he would wake up around like 7:30. So I was like not consistently getting any sleep. Let's get Mr. Little Bubba oops, up from his nap. I was like trying to go to bed with him around 8, and then wake up with him just to get more sleep, but like I wasn't really tired at 8. anyways, what we did in the past week was kind of switch our schedule around and keep him up a little bit longer. So we've been keeping him up till about 10 p.m. and then feeding him a big bottle and then putting him down. So for the past couple nights, he's been sleeping from, you know, 10:30 after his bottle until between 4 and 5:30. So, and then he'll wake up again around 7:30, 8 o'clock and be up for the day. So that has literally been a saving grace for myself because I've been able to get a longer stretch of sleep and it's just so good. And also I think that because he's gained a little bit more weight, he can go longer stretches without eating. So I think like he'll be able to sleep through the night or at least get a solid like 6 to 7 hours, but still waiting on that. Also, he is pretty much having all formula now. I think I'll do another video on like my breastfeeding experience, but basically the gist is he never latched, so I tried the breastfeeding thing and it didn't really work out, so I started exclusively pumping, and then that I've just started to get really exhausted because you're doing double work. It's like you feed him and then you have to pump, so the whole process was taking, you know, over an hour because I would pump for like 20 minutes after I would feed him, and then just because he was waking up so often to eat, it was just getting really, really exhausting. So we switched him over pretty much predominantly to formula now. And that was a whole interesting thing because we were giving him Enfamil, which is what our pediatrician had recommended, but he just like did not like that whatsoever. He kept throwing up, and you would try to put the bottle in his mouth and he would just go like he did not like the taste of it, and it smelled like fish. It was disgusting. So after a few, you know, times of giving him that, we decided not to, and then so we switched to like the Gerber Good Start, I think it's called, and he likes that a lot, and he doesn't spit up, he's not fussy, you know, he doesn't have reflux or anything like that, and he's definitely been, I think that's helped him to sleep longer and go longer stretches because it's more caloric than breast milk, and so he's been going longer between feeds and then like sleeping more at night. So that's pretty much the update for him at 2 months. He's such a sweet baby. Look, he's like sleeping back to sleep. I'll have to put him down again, but he's just a really, really good baby. He's so sweet. He loves to be held, loves to be cuddled, which, you know, I have no problem with. Oh, he's talking about you. You're smiling in your sleep. But he's doing really well, and I'm actually going back to work on July 16th, so I had 3 months of maternity leave. Still sleeping in our room in the bassinet, and we got the Owlet. I don't know if you guys have heard of it. You probably have if you're a mom, but it's basically this little sock that you put on their foot, and it hooks up to this like little base station, and it tells you their heart rate and how much oxygen they're getting throughout the night. So my husband was, sorry Bubba, we got the Owlet, and if anything is in the red, like your app will go off, and even if like the sock comes off or something in your sleep, the app will tell you and like it'll have a notification and make a sound and stuff. So that has literally been such, I don't know, it just gives me such peace of mind whenever he's sleeping that, you know, he's okay and breathing and his heart rate's fine and all that. So that's little Bubba, and I'll probably do another update, I don't know, maybe at 3 months or something, but yeah, so let me know if you guys have 2-month-olds or if you remember anything about when your babies were 2 months and they got their shots and everything. Let me know how that experience was for you. And I hope everybody that is out there and pregnant, I hope you're doing well. If you're TTC, good luck, sending lots of baby dust. If you haven't already, please subscribe. I'd love to have you guys, you know, join this journey into motherhood. Since it's my first baby, I always need advice, and it's so great to connect with other moms. So thanks so much for watching. I'll talk to you guys in the next video. Bye.